All right, today is another day where I absolutely do not feel like doing this. I'm tired, it's late in the day, and I'm kind of empty. I'm emptied out, right? All It's been a very full day. I've had to take care of a lot of stuff, and I didn't feel it. I wasn't feeling particularly good, but I had to, or I wanted to put myself kind of in a more positive state so that I just, don't negatively affect the people around me, but create a positive uh, experience on this day with me, just because I like the people around me and I want to be more uplifting than putting them down. And today, there's times where you can embody that and you put yourself in the state and then it becomes this kind of self fulfilling prophecy. But there's also days where it's very hit and miss, and today it was very hit and miss. I had some good moments, but also a lot of it was just driving on the struggle bus. And right now, I'm just tired. I want to lay down. I want to, I don't know, listen to some audiobook, watch some movie, fall asleep, and forget the world. And not think about my to do list and all the stuff I have to take care of. Interestingly, I kind of feel so empty and tired in some ways right now that I'm not even nervous about being in front of the camera. Um, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. This is a stupid game, right? Um, it's not a stupid game. It's dope that you're doing this. Um, hmm, yeah, it's interesting sometimes when we talk about our inner dialogue, or when we talk our inner dialogue out loud, it's when we actually hear it, right? Because most of the time, it's this voice that's living in our head 24/7 and it affects us. But we don't really notice what it says. We don't really pay attention because it's this constant, constant background chatter, right? It's always with us. And so we're kind of used to it. Um, but then when you say out loud what it says to you, right? It's us. We say it to ourselves, but still what it says to you, that voice in our head, uh, sometimes it's actually good because you listen to it differently and it allows you to almost see it from the outside or hear it from the outside and you realize what it's doing, what it's telling you, right? Um, and sometimes these things that you've heard so many times that they've become a almost like a pattern of your thinking, an ingrained mental habit. When you take it out of your head and you put it in front of you or you verbalize it, you see it much more clearly for what it is and how it affects you and what it does. And you can say, you know what, I don't need to say that. I don't want to say that, or that's not true. And that's a cool thing. Because doing this is not a stupid game. It's actually super interesting. And yeah, I'm tired. And yeah, I don't feel like it. And yeah, I'm not motivated. And yeah, I'm exhausted. And yeah, right now really feel like I don't want to do this. But I still don't think it's a stupid game. I think it's kind of awesome to be doing this. On the one hand, it's this kind of getting out of my comfort zone or this little um, micro adventure that I'm doing here, um, where I'm exploring somehow what do I gotta do to enjoy doing this and be free to do this without this constant overthinking, right? And not to clam up in a situation like this where, all right, now there's an audience, and even if that audience is just a camera, and a microphone, right? But I have the same feelings many times in other situations as well. In group settings, it's very common for me. Um, and in certain situations where it is kind of expected of me to perform, or I feel like it is expected of me to perform a certain way, it's very easy for me to kind of, yeah, not deal with that pressure very well. And so this camera and this mic, uh, it's it's a good training ground, right? A good sparring partner because it has kind of infinite patience um, and zero judgment, right? Other than the judgment in my head. And fortunately, I can just lay it out there and then I can work with it consciously. And that is a good thing in all aspects of my life. And today, I think one of the things that really annoyed me today was actually that I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling good, but I'm here with this person right now, and I really care about this person. I like this person. So there's two things I can do. I can be grumpy and moody, and that's how I actually feel right now. And then this person will have that memory with me, of me being grumpy and moody and how I affect them and how I make them feel. Or I can get over myself. Because really, if whether I am grumpy or not grumpy in that moment, whether I'm moody or not moody in that moment, whether I'm actually happy, right, and with a positive energy, um, it wouldn't have changed anything about the situation, what I needed to do, how much time it took out of my day, right? So, really, what's the point? And yet, I couldn't. I tried, and times I could, and times I couldn't. But almost never like 100%. It was almost like an attempt at trying to make it work. And I was frustrated because of that, because I kind of, sometimes I can do it, right? I really can get into that state and be like, hey, this is a precious moment I have with someone I care about. And sometimes I can't. And today I barely could, right? And then I blamed myself for that. And I judged myself for it. And I got upset at myself for that. And that, of course, did not help put me in a better state. So it was kind of this vicious circle of, well, you know, think about it this way. This is going to take as much time as it takes anyway. So, do you want to be grumpy and moody? Or do you want to be bright and positive, right? All right, let's be bright and positive. Oh, you're not bright and positive, motherfucker. Come on. What is wrong with you? Of course, it's not really helping. Be bright and positive. Try again, right? So there's kind of this being torn in opposing directions and then kind of pouring more fuel into the fire that lights the wrong engine. I'm kind of very much jumbling metaphors here. I'll blame it on my tiredness. But yeah, I don't know. I, I don't know what I could have done differently other than trying to change my state and then blaming myself for not doing it good enough and then trying maybe maybe just haven't taken out the blame, and instead of like blaming myself for why are you still not in the state that you kind of want to be in, just be like, you know what, you're trying, it's good, this is not easy, I understand it, you're fine, you're doing good, you'll get there, give it a little bit more time, ease it up a little bit, relax a little bit, could have done it, right? Actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's exactly what I should do right now. Just take a little breath and take a moment. This shit actually works. I think so many problems we try to solve with our head, in our head, and sometimes it's here, right? And you can work with that here. And you don't need to try to find the solution here. You just have to do it here. There's so much power and you can use it. This is a beautiful, beautiful tool, right? But here's so much energy. And especially when that inner voice is kind of like in hyper mode and very active and very critical and agitated. It's all here and it's kind of like stabbing, right? It's good to go here and be like, you know what? Take a deep breath. What's happening right now? Just notice, just be aware. Yeah. Get out of your head for a moment and into the present moment. Just step into it. Sense, feel, hear. Just be here. Okay, that's it for today.